Hey everyone, this is part 2 in my JavaScript Events series. I apologize for the length of the last video. I got a little ambitious apparently. So this video is going to be a much more focused and shorter look at one specific facet of JavaScript Events. And so what we're going to look at is what is called preventDefault. And what that means is basically that sometimes the browser has a default action that will happen when you interact with an element on your web page, and preventDefault will prevent that action from happening. And I've got a few things set up on this page for you guys to see. And I actually don't think we even need this showing. Let's look at the actual HTML here. It's really just pretty basic. A lot of this is just simple styling to make things a little more apparent. But the real meat of what we'll be doing today is in this section here. So this is the actual layout. You can see this form is this box here, and then this wrapper with this box and this dragger item is this section right here, and then we have a link or an anchor tag, which is this Engadget tag right here, and then we have a text area. And so now I'll demonstrate a few of the cool things that you can do with preventDefault. So let's say you have a form, and let's say that you want to have you want to do some sanitation checks, or you want to make sure that the form is correct before you send it. And let's say you want to send it via Ajax, which sends it using JavaScript instead of built-in HTML forms. So anyway, if you have a form, and I just have a simple input box here, and that's titled name, so I'll go ahead and put my name in Ryan. And typically, if you hit submit, you'll see that it actually reloads the page. You might not have been able to see that because it's pretty quick, but it actually put up here the name of this input box, which is name, equals Ryan. So it actually sent what I put in here to this web page, and that would be handled by something like PHP. Now the trick is, anytime you put a button inside of a form, this is going to happen. It's going to reload the page. And so if you don't want that to happen, I'll show that again. So name equals appears again. If you don't want that to happen, a simple thing that you can do, so I went over here and query selector form, add event listener submit, and then we set up a callback called form submit here, and that is right here. If we go ahead and uncomment this event.preventDefault, and this event variable is what's passed in from every callback, and so we'll call event.preventDefault. And now when I reload this page and click submit, I'll go ahead and put my name in. Nothing happens. So it's preventing that default action from happening. Alright, so that's one thing. Another thing is drag and drop. So this actually requires preventDefault to work. So as you can see, I'm dragging this box into this supposedly droppable area. Before you can do any sort of drag and drop, though, you have to make sure that what you're trying to drag has this attribute, draggable equals true, and that's this dragger, which is this box right here. And so you can see that I'm able to drag that. However, I'm not able to drop it. In order to drop anything into an area, you have to designate that as a droppable area. And the way you do that is you add an event listener for drag over on this element. So that is called box. So down here you can see we have box, add event listener, drag over, and then all we do in this event, and this is the callback box drag, is we prevent the default. So right now it's commented out. So we'll go ahead and we'll uncomment that. And then we have an additional event listener called drop. So that listens for a drop. And so right here, and all we're going to do is we're going to take the dragger and append it to this, which if you remember from my last video, will be the box that it's being dropped in. It refers to the element that the event is attached to. So it's the dotted, it's this box here, and it will append the dragger box. So now if we refresh this page here, you'll see that as soon as I cross into this, it shows up that the no drop icon goes away, and then if I let go, it goes in there. And so that's how you do a really basic drag and drop. Thirdly, you can do links. And so this is good if you want to do something, if you want to maybe do a check while you're clicking on a link to make sure that you have permission to go to this link or something like that. I've had to use it a few times, but not very often. So you can, if you normally click a link, it'll take you to the page like it's supposed to. However, if we come down here, we have here add event listener on this anchor tag, click and link click. So if we come in here, event.preventDefault, go ahead and reload this. I can click this as many times as I want, and you can see that I'm actually clicking it because it's turning red, but it's not going there. And lastly, we just have a text area, and I can say hello 123 in here, and that all works great. However, I have a little event set up to listen for key down, and I have a callback called key press, which is right here. And what this right here is, event.which specifies the key character code that was pressed by the key down event. And so all this is doing is saying if the character code is less than 48 or greater than 57, which equates to if a letter is pressed, we'll go ahead and prevent the default. And what this will essentially do, if a letter, basically if, let me rephrase that, if anything other than a number is pressed, it basically will not let me do anything. So if I refresh the page, I can come in here and I can type numbers just fine, but if I try to do anything else, I can't hit space, I can't hit enter, I can't even hit backspace or delete. I can only type numbers. So you can do that to prevent people from typing in things that you don't want to be in your text area or input or any other area that takes text or key press events. Alright, so that's my quick video. I hope that was helpful, and I hope that demonstrated a few uses of preventDefault. Until next time.